Hello, it's Sabrina Moreland from the Walter State Library, and this video demonstrates how to use psych articles for writing research papers in your Psychology 2130 class. So, like always, we're going to start off on the library homepage, and we're going to go to the A to Z database list, and then we're going to narrow our subjects to just psychology. And then we're going to look at psych articles. So we're going to scroll down and click into psych articles. Always remember that if you're working from home or you're working off campus, you'll need to log in using your eLearn username and password. So there's lots of things that we can change and manipulate in this database. There are these three boxes to work with, and there are our Boolean operators. And so for lifespan psychology, I'm going to focus on how older adults use rewards or motivation for self-regulation. That's sort of the route I'm taking. And so I'm going to start off very broadly in this first box, and I'm going to try seniors or elderly. Remember that we are trying to figure out what subject headings or which terms the database wants us to use. So I'm going to start off with this sort of demographic and see what happens, and hit search. And when I do that, I get 2,100 and some results. And actually, that's a bit surprising because you would think that with such broad terms, we would have many, many more results. So that tells me that I need to see, is there a better term I can use for this population? So I'm going to scroll down a little, and I'm going to start looking at the subjects listed below each abstract. So we have a summary here. So I'm going to look at the abstract, and I can also scroll down a little bit more and view the major headings and the subjects here. So I see aging listed. That might be a possibility, age difference, but nothing that really captures that certain group. So I'm going to continue to look at the subjects listed below. So I see this one does cover a variety of age groups: adulthood, middle age. I see aged, 65 years or older. And I continue to see aged here. I do see senior listed and elderly listed in the abstract a little bit, but it seems to be that aged might be a good term to try, just to see what happens. So I'm going to go back up to the top, and I'm going to get rid of seniors or elderly, and I'm just going to type in aged and see what happens. Now I get 19,000 results, so that's a huge jump. So that illustrates why the subject headings are so important. Now we are going to have to really whittle this down and narrow it down a little bit. And so one of the first things we can do is think about the date. Now I'm not really concerned with what was going on in 1894, so I'm going to change this to the last 10 years and hit enter. And now I get 7,000 results. So it's slowly reducing our amount of results. Another option, and sometimes it doesn't change anything, but we can click on peer-reviewed journals, and sometimes this number is different from the results we have. So we can click on that to make sure we are getting those scholarly articles, and that helps a little. So I'm going to start adding terms to my search. I'm going to enter self-regulation, because that's one of the things I'm focusing on. So I have aged and self-regulation. I'm going to hit search, and that really narrows it down. Only 108. So I could actually stop here if I wanted to. That's not too many to view or manage. You wouldn't, of course, go in and read all of them, but you would go through once again and see what the subject headings say and what the abstracts say each article's about. I do want to just add rewards or motivation, since that's really what I was focusing on. And when I hit search, it gives me 25 results. So that's super easy to go through. Okay, so that's how you just build and narrow down, looking at those subject headings, looking at the abstract, and then you go through and you find an article that seems pretty relevant. And so it may be not the first few. It might have to take a little digging and looking to see if anything jumps out at you. So this one does. Self-regulations listed in the title, older adults, and I can see what they're sort of talking about based on the abstract and based on the subjects. So I'm going to go into this article. And most of the time it provides the PDF. And so then when I think, well, this might not be what I'm looking for, I can hit Control F and type in one of my terms. So there's motivation, and I can see it's listed several times throughout the article. So it does seem to relate. So when I think, oh, I might want to use this article in my research paper, I want to do something to save it or keep it. So I'm going to either download it to my own device, I'm going to print it off if I have access to a printer, I'm going to email it to myself, which I think is the best way to really keep up with this stuff. So when I click on this envelope, I can put my email address here. And I want to change the citation to APA because that's what we're using in our psychology classes. I can also get the permalink by clicking on the little chain link here and then copying and pasting this URL, not the one at the top, but this one to be able to go back to this page. So lots of great ways of saving. Lastly, the database does have a citation tool. So over here on the right, the yellow piece of paper that says Cite, when you hover over it, when I click on that, I can scroll down just a little and then I can copy and paste this into my references page, which is really great. The database does provide you with all the information you need for your citation. You just want to ensure that it is written the way it should be, following that, that formula and that style. So making sure the title is not in all caps, making sure the author's name is the last name and abbreviations and so forth. But all the information's there. You just want to double check it to make sure it's written correctly. So this is just a quick overview on how to use PsycARTICLES to find information for your psychology research papers. If you have any questions about this database or any research, just feel free to reach out and have a great day.